What's the smartest way you've tested your daughter's boyfriend? I hired him at my construction company to see his true character, and what I discovered changed everything. My daughter Sarah started dating Jake when she was 19. He seemed perfect on paper, polite, well-dressed, studying business at the same college. But something felt off. His designer clothes and fancy car didn't match his supposed part-time waiter salary. I've run my construction business for 25 years. I've learned to spot people who are all show, no substance. So when Jake mentioned needing summer work, I offered him a job. Not in the office, on a build site as a general laborer. He showed up first day in pressed khakis and leather shoes. My foreman, Miguel, almost laughed. We gave him basic tasks: hauling lumber, mixing concrete, cleaning up debris. By lunch, his hands were blistered and bleeding. But he came back next day in work boots and Carhartt jeans. For 2 weeks, he worked hard without complaining. Then I noticed something concerning. Small tools kept disappearing from sites he worked at. Drills, saws, expensive equipment. I installed cameras but couldn't catch him in the act. The thefts continued. Other workers started getting blamed. I almost fired 2 guys before realizing Jake always volunteered for jobs at sites where things went missing. Then one Friday, I followed him after work. He drove to a pawn shop 40 miles away. Through the window, I watched him sell tools stolen from my sites. My blood boiled, but I kept quiet, gathering evidence. A week later, Sarah came home crying. Jake had surprised her with an expensive necklace. I recognized the design. His mom had one just like it. When I asked about it, he said he'd saved up from his construction job. I logged into our payroll system. Jake's checks were going to an account at Midwest Bank, but when I called about a missing deposit, they had no record of him. The account number he'd given us was fake. I hired a private investigator. Within days, we uncovered everything. Jake had a record: 3 arrests for fraud and theft. He wasn't even enrolled in college. His rich family story was a lie. He was working multiple jobs, stealing from all of them. The final straw came when one of my best clients called. Their signed contracts had forged signatures authorizing extra work, $43,000 worth. Jake had accessed our files during night shifts when he volunteered to catch up on paperwork. I gathered all the evidence: security footage, fake bank records, forged documents. I asked Sarah to meet me for dinner. Jake came too, probably expecting to charm his way through another family meal. Instead, 2 police officers approached our table. Jake's face dropped as they listed the charges. Sarah watched in shock as they led him away in handcuffs. When they searched his apartment, they found stolen tools from 6 different companies, high-end clothes with security tags still attached, dozens of fake IDs. The hardest part was telling Sarah the truth, but as I showed her the evidence, her shock turned to anger. Turned out Jake had stolen from her too, borrowing her credit card for small purchases that added up to thousands. He got 3 years in prison. Sarah testified at his sentencing. She looked him in the eye and said, "I thought you loved me, but you only loved what you could take from me." Last week, Sarah brought home her new boyfriend. First thing he said was, "Sir, I know what happened with Jake. I want you to run a background check on me. Call my references. Test me however you need to. I have nothing to hide." I smiled and handed him a hard hat. "Show up Monday at 7 a.m. Let's see what you're made of." Some call me overprotective, but better to test someone's character with dirt and sweat than learn the truth after they've stolen your daughter's heart and half your company's inventory.